Right. What we were discussing last day is about the animal's life cycle. Right, life cycle. We learned that the different stages of some are showing, like some are showing life cycle, and each and every stage there is a similarity of the child and also the adult. And but so in some cases it is not similar. So morphological differences are there, especially this tap doll and frog thing. We learned that there are morphological differences, but in sometimes there are no significant morphological differences between that. That is actually the metamorphosis. So that we have studied in the last lesson, right? I think you can remember the complete and incomplete metamorphosis of those animals, right? We just discussed that last day, actually, of the last year. And today, what we have to discuss about the plant life cycle, right? Similar to these, plant is also a kind of living thing. No? Similar to animals, plant is also a living thing. Therefore, plant is also having similar life cycle. But the thing is, the names given in the stages, that is not the same. We have seed, plant, tree, likewise different names, right? So here you can see some stages of plant's life cycle. Basically, in the sexual life cycle, you can see seed in the middle. Seeds are giving birth to the small plants. So that is in the middle that you can see. But there are some the plants can be like, unlike these animals, that a lot of animals that we have learned, plant can grow in some other propagation mechanisms, like from the roots, from stem, branches, even from leaves. Plants can start a new one. So without germination, without the seed germination process, it can give birth to a new plant through that other propagation methods, through the root system, to the shoot system, stem, branches, leaves. So there are some other mechanisms. Those are called asexual reproduction. But this is what this germination process is basically a part of sexual reproduction of the plant, right? So we have learned that in, I think, a previous grade, maybe grade 8, no, grade 7, I guess. Not sure whether grade 7, grade 6 also some sexual reproduction related to plants are there, other propagation methods, right? So then, okay. So then this is for the flowering plant. Flowering plants are basically, flowering plants are mainly showing this germination, seed germination process you can see in the flowering plants. That is one of the major things. And seed, then seedling, and the mature plant. Seedling or the small plant, then the mature plant. So that is the life cycle. It's a very simple thing. So why do we need to study these life cycles? What are the importances? What are the advantages of learning these life cycles? So because these animals and plants are connected to our lives, we are there as an ecosystem. We all interact. Therefore, in different stages we interact. Therefore, we need to know. So one is the pest control. Pest control means, lot of pests are there when you're cultivating and when harvesting, and even the different phases of the plant life cycle, especially when we cultivate things for the crops, to find crops and all. So there will be stages where we need to control, we need to actually control the pests. So think about this kind of thing. So mushroom is not a plant, but it is a kind of fungi, and we are growing mushrooms. But so when you are growing mushrooms, practically there are a lot of pests, worms, and sometimes these house flies. So they are they are laying their eggs there, and sometimes the worms can be appearing. That is not good, right? So we need to control. So if we are aware about their life cycle, it will be really helpful in controlling pests, and also stopping and controlling diseases like dengue and all. Because it is one stage. If you can, like, if life cycle, so this life cycle, if you identify the stages of these mosquitoes, if you can stop certain stages, because for certain stages it needs some environment. For an example, without water, so one stage of the mosquito life cycle, So if water is not there, it can be really stopped. Mosquito can live in the land or other areas in the atmosphere. That is true, but not in all the stages of its life cycle. In some stages, it need to spend time in water. So if you stop or clean the water properly, then we can control them. So not fully, but at least up to a certain level. Right. Then actually another thing is conservation and also conserve the biodiversity. Because we need to anyway, either they are harming, either they are damaging, or they are playing various roles. We have to think about one thing. They are also part of this habitable planet. They are also part of this world. So we have to anyhow let them live. Maybe not bothering us, but anyway, in some environment, they must live because they are really needed to balance this environment. You know, the food chains, right, need to be balanced. So this is some, so if you like, there are a lot of insects in the world. That is like more than 100,000 times of human population. Our population is 8 billion in the world. The human population is around 8 billion. But think about the insects. How many insects are there? How many bacteria are there? How many bacteria are there within our body? That is more than 1,000 times of that our population. But they really help us living. They really help us living. Therefore, we need to anyway conserve their life cycle. So we need to know about it. Okay, let's think about the pest controlling first. Okay, pests are basically organisms that harm our crops, that you know. The garden plants, trees, crops, maybe fruits, seeds, they can harm, right? So when you study about them, okay, let's study about the life cycle of the fruit fly. Fruit fly is one of the common pests that we see in each and every environment now, because they lay eggs there. And so by doing that, fruit fly is basically, it's in several stages, it damages the fruit, right? Let's see how the crops are destroyed by this fruit fly. Okay, you can see. So what is the kind of, are they showing a complete metamorphosis or incomplete metamorphosis? What do you think? Is it a complete metamorphosis or incomplete metamorphosis? Hello. Are you there? You can see the life cycle, right? Sunny, am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can, sir.
Okay. So are they showing a complete metamorphosis or incomplete metamorphosis?
Complete metamorphosis.
It is complete metamorphosis. You can see the eggs and larva and pupa, and then this adult fruit fly. Right. The adult female fruit fly lays egg by breaking the fruits such as mango, guava, etc. So this you have experienced. They make ඔයාට දැන් අත්දැකීම් ඇතිනේ සමහර වෙලාවට අපි කෑම fruits කන්න කලින් අම්මලා එහෙම කියනවනේ මේක ඔක කන්න කලින් බල්ලා කන්න පණුව ඇති. So what's the reason? Reason is one stage of this fruit flies life cycle. එතකොට අපි කියන්නේ නේ ඔගේ fruit flies ලා ඇති බල්ලා කන්න කියන. ඔගේ මැස්සෝ ඇති බල්ලා කන්න කියන්නේ. අපි කියන්නේ පණුව ඇති. එතකොට මේ පණුව කියලා කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? This worm like thing is it is one stage of their life cycle. So what happened? Actually, these insects are attracted by the smell and the color of the color of the fruit, right? මේක වෙනවනේ දැන් fruit වල color එකට ඒකේ තියෙන අර ඉදෙනකොට එන සුවඳට ඒවට මේගොල්ලෝ attract වෙනවා. Because you know that it has some taste and that is a fruit anyhow, right? That is a fruit. They also like to enjoy it. So they will come and they will prickle. They will lay their eggs. And then the larva basically feeds on the flesh of the fruit. Okay, this because after they lay eggs, the larva is then after that they spread there. And what will happen? There will be a lot of eggs, right? That you cannot see. That is why we are washing this before we eat. We want to wash them well. If it is, especially if it is not a fresh one, just park when you're parked. Even after parking, because we have to. It's better if you can wash it, because their eggs can be there. But eggs are not that much harmful. But what will happen then if the larvae are there? Then actually, so what they do, they will damage the food by gradually they are making tunnels in the foods. No? So while eating, right, while they are depending, their food source is the flesh of this fruit. And what they create, they are basically creating small tunnels. So what will happen gradually? Because of their wastages and because of these tunnels, this will slowly become a rotten. Right? So it is unsuitable for the consumption. It will be smelly sometimes and it will be juicy sometimes. Right? I think you have seen, right? The parana වෙනකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ fruits. ඒවා නිකන් අර මේ තියෙන්නේ අර පර වෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ. Smelly, right? So it emits a kind of gas. So this is a kind of biogas anyway. So you can use that for biogas production. So because of this decomposition, actually fruit itself is decomposition, even without the support of larvae and these adult fruit flies, like whatever. So fruit itself is decomposing. That is also natural. Again, මේගොල්ලෝ ඉන්නම ඕන නෑ මේ fruit එකක් මේක මේ මොන හරි මේව එකක් නරක් වෙන්න. ඔයගොල්ලෝ නිකන් තක්කාලි ගෙඩියක් තියලා බලන්නකො පැත්තක. මේගොල්ලොම ඉන්න ඕන නෑ. හොඳට වහලා තිබ්බත් ෆ්‍රිජ් එකක තියන්න නැතුව පැත්තක තියලා තිබ්බොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? නරක් වෙනවා. කාලයක් යනකොට. මොකද ඒකේ තියෙන මේ chemical composition එක ඒක ඒක අපි කියන එක decompose වෙනවා කියලා. කාලයක් යනකොට ඒක බිඳ වැටෙනවා. ඒක බිඳ වැටිලා ඒකේ තියෙන අර මේ මොකද්ද ඔය තියෙන ආහාරණි තැම්පත් කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ශාකයාගේ ගහයාගේ කැම ටික තමයි තැම්පත් කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒවා මොකද වෙන්නේ ඊට පස්සේ ඒවා ඒ වගේ ඊළඟ ස්වරූපයට ඊළඟ ස්වභාවයට පෙරලෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ ග්ලූකෝස් නම් ඒක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේ ඇල්කොහොලික් වෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ ඒවා කන්වර්ට් වෙලා යනවා ඊළඟ version එකට. තෙල් වගේ දේවල් ඒවා මේ fruit oil වගේ දේවල් තියෙනවා. ඒවා මුඩු වෙලා යනවා. බැක්ටීරියා effects are there. So those, like we cannot see them. There are like a lot of microorganisms are there. Even these insects are not there. This microorganism will do the work for us. So this rotten or this decomposition will anyway. But this also you can do as an experiment. You can keep a piece of fruit, or you can even keep the full fruit for some time, and you can watch it daily, observe it daily. Maybe take a photograph, and you can create a time-lapse video on that. Right, okay. So this is the damage done by the fruit fly. You can see the larvae are there. So they are basically making this a rotten one, which is then it's not suitable for human consumption. Okay. The larval stage is most likely easiest way to control the fruit fly. Right, stage is the most likely and easiest way to control the fruit fly. Why? This stage is considered to be the easiest stage because fruit fly is very difficult to consider. It's flying no anyway. But this stage we can anyway, if we can cover the fruit. Sometimes I have seen they are covering using a polythene bag. Right, when this fruit is growing, they are sometimes put in a polythene bag. People are putting polythene bags and cover it to protect that from these fruit flies and other animals. Other animals are also consuming this. Like there are birds, right? They can also consume. So to stop that, you can control it. Okay. Anyway, the easiest stage to control is, please remember, that is this larval stage, and that is because after the larva, so if you try to control that, you can control, but the thing is the fruit is already damaged. So then we don't have a way to recover that. Therefore, the easiest way, if you can control in this stage, if you can stop, and that will be easy. Okay, regular inspection is needed, right? If larva found in the fruit must be destroyed. So you should not keep, because it will spread. Right? It will spread. So if you can stop even before that, that is good. because the prevention is really better than cure. Right? Fallen fruits are infected by larvae. So mostly, right, these fallen fruits are infected. අපිට කියනනේ බිම වැටුණු පළතුරු කන්න එපා කියලා. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට නේද? කොහොදලා කන්න නැත්නම් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේවා මේ ඉන්ෆෙක්ට් වෙලා තියෙනවා. These are infected. And therefore it's not good to consume. Right? Okay. So then there is a table given. Have you filled this table in homework?
No, sir.
Right, okay. So then actually you have to fill this, make a list of pest destroy crops and tabulate your findings. So you have to, here they have list a few fruit fly, coconut, red weevil. දැකලා තියෙනවනේ පොල් වලට එන්නේ රතු පාට එක එක කුරුමිනියෙක් මොනවාද ඒකට පොල් කුරුමිනිය කියලාද කියන්නේ red weevil කියලා කියන්නේ සිංහල name. පොල් කුරුමින නම් කළු පාටක් කියලා. මෙයාව අපි ගන්න වෙන්නේ red weevil කියන්නේ කුරුමිනියම තමයි. රතු පාට චූටි කුරුමිනියෙක් කියනවා. So that one, right? So there is another one. So coconut, there is a bigger one, black color, and this red color one is also dangerous because they are also affecting this. Then paddy bug, this is common, right? Paddy bugs are really common, so they are harming paddy fields, right? Paddy bugs, and then mealy bugs. So what is mealy bug? Mealy bugs are, you can find that is basically flour based products. Piti makuna kiyala kiyana. Right, unknown. So these basically they are also damaging crops. So what you need to discover, which part of fruit or the crop is affected, and then so there can be like multiple parts, the mostly affected part and stage of the life cycle which destroy the crop. Not in each stage, they are destroying this in some stage only. So some there are some insects, animals, some insects damaging the crops in each stage, but mostly these are innocent, right? They are actually in one stage only they are damaging, right? So only 4 are listed. Is there any other? No, only 4 are listed. So then actually don't look at these answers given. First of all, you try to discover your own, then only look at the table which is in the 74th page. The answers are given. So okay. This let me show this coconut. We will, right. Okay. If you can see, this is what I saw, right? So sometimes these wheels are basically accidentally coming to the house. Sometimes you can see, right? This is like it's big enough to see. So this one is the red weevil, and there is a black one also. This one is the black one. I have seen this one a lot. This black color one, right? So you can see its life cycle, and so you can just explore that. And the red one and black one both. So you can see in the news also, they have place in the news also, because these are so dangerous. They are damaging the coconut stem, and also some are damaging the coconut itself. Right. See in the which stage they are damaging. And can you remember there was a one affecting corn as well? What's the name of that? Can you remember the name? Recently. corn වලට ආවනේ දෙකෙනෙක් මතකද ඔයාලට? ළඟදී ඔය බදුල්ල පැත්තේ එහෙම ගොඩාක්
සේනදලුවනේ sir.
That one. So there's a caterpillar, right? That affected corn. So I cannot remember the exact name in English. That caterpillar, this one. I'm not sure whether this one, the corn caterpillar, but so just because that was it was called in Sinhala. You can remember the name, right? Sena Galambua Kila. Right. I think this one, right? This Kern earworm. Right, Kern earworm. So that is the one that they have mentioned. Actually, it's damaging the corn. It's also a pest. So see in the which stage. This is also a butterfly, right? But in one stage of the life cycle, you can see the life cycle of it. And you can see here. This is the life cycle. And it damage in one certain stage. Here you can see that is the example. So try to find out some more like this. So pest control is one of the most important thing that we need to learn, right? Then the next thing is basically, so the many pest controlling methods, basically they are preventive things. So they are preventive mechanisms. So destroying mechanisms, actually these after infection, destroying is not really like it is not really eco-friendly, because you are going to kill the animal and you are going to destroy it. That is not an eco-friendly method, but best way is controlling them by using preventive methods. Have you seen in some countries? So this is in as I remember, this is in Thailand. Let me show small video or Thailand or Japan. I'm not sure. Let me. They use. All right, right. You can see here. I'm not sure the country. You can. I think it's in Japan or Thailand, some country. Just go and search that. No, I'm not going to search it now. So basically, in their paddy fields, right here you can see this is a natural pest control method. Right. This is a natural pest control method. Fish farming that happens in the paddy fields. So see why. Just I'm not going to tell you why. So you have to see. So this is two things, right? Two things together. One thing is can be this fish can also be consumed, no? Because we are consuming both plants and animals. So that is one thing. But there's another thing. There's another thing why we can, like, if we can use fish, there is another thing that we can control. So I will keep that to you. Just investigate why the fish farming is integrated with the rice. Right? Why this integrated rice and fish farming is there. Just watch these videos and see there are advantages. This is automated or this is ecosystem-based pest controlling method. Right? You are controlling the pests using ecosystems. So see how.
Okay, sir.
This is not common in Sri Lanka, but in some countries like Thailand, Japan, I guess they are using this. Okay, then another thing is like we can use the preventive methods. Another thing is using chemical pesticides. But the thing is, so this is very common in Sri Lanka. No? We are using a lot of chemical pesticides, chemicals for destroying the organisms. But the thing is, so what are the issues with with these chemical pesticides? You can destroy, yes, you can destroy. That is true. But there are issues. Look, without looking at that, can you guess what are the issues? Yes. If you use chemical pesticides, what will happen? Are they good for us? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Is this chemical pesticides good for us?
No,
Why?
because it is chemical.
Not just because of the chemicals. So since it is harmful for these animals, so there are damages to us as well, because it can come through the food chain. So there are arsenic-like materials which can come to us through the food chain. So that is really not good. And also, we are destroying the useful and harmful both. And we are imbalance in the ecosystems. So because of those reasons, using chemicals, pesticide is something to be discouraged. හරි. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි ඉකෝසිස්ටම් එක මොකද කරන්නේ? අපේ ඉකෝසිස්ටම් එක ඉම්බැලන්ස් කරනවා. අපිට ප්‍රයෝජනවත් වගේම මේ ඒ කියන්නේ හොඳ කට්ටියත් අයින් වෙලා යනවා, නරක කට්ටියත් අයින් වෙලා යනවා. කෙමිකල් පෙස්ටිසයිඩ්ස් මොකද දැන් කෘමිනාශකයක් නේ, කෘමිනාශකයක් කොහොම කෘමීන් ඔක්කොම මැරෙනවා. අය හොඳ කට්ටිය ඉතුරු කරලා අනිත් කට්ටිය එහෙම කරන්න බෑ. both good and bad pests, not pests, actually insects will be killed. So we are imbalanced. By doing that, we are imbalanced in the nature, ecosystem. මේකෙන් වෙන්නේ අපේ මේ පරිසර පද්ධතිය අසමතුලිත වෙන එක. ඒ වගේම chemicals මොකද වෙන්නේ? chemicals ආපහු ගස් හරහා ඔය මේ ආහාර දාම හරහා ඇවිල්ලා අපේ ඇඟටම එන්න පුළුවන්. So that is what suspected, right? That is one thing suspected in this northeastern province. Why there are a lot of kidney related diseases. They believe that is because of this chemical pesticides, high amount of chemical pesticides used. කෘමිනාශක වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයක් use කරලා ඒ වගේන් එන damage එක කියලා හිතනවා ඔය kidneys වලට මේ වතුරට එකතු වෙනවා. So and therefore it is really unsafe way. Here you can see it may affect water bodies. It may pollute water, right? When it is accumulated with water and when it is like when it is dissolved in water, it can be consumed again by people and can cause cancers and kidney diseases. This is what suspect. Therefore, this is not very good method, but instant, fast, and you can protect your crops. That is true, but ultimately there are a lot of disadvantages of using these chemical pesticides. Okay, then disease vectors. This is more common, right? You can see the mosquito's life cycle. That is also a metamorphosis that you can see. They also lay eggs in water and then the larva is there in water. So that is why to control these diseases like dengue and lot of mosquito related diseases, we are destroying the water sources. We are cleaning the water sources to stop this stage. And also fish species, right? Fish species that feed on mosquito larva can be bred into the water bodies. That is another thing. දැන් ඔය වතුර එකතු වෙන තැන් වලට මාළු සමහරට දාලා තියන්න පුළුවන්. මාළු ටැංකියක් වගේ තිබ්බොත් මේ මාළු ටැංකිය වල මෙයාලා ගිහලා බිත්තර දාන්නේ නැහැ. ඇයි? මාළුන්ට පෙන්වන්න බෑ මේ ලාවල. හරිද? කීටයෝ ඉන්නවනේ මේ මදුරු කීටයෝ. ඒගොල්ලොන්ට මාළු මොකද කරන්නේ? මාළු මෙලාව මේගොල්ලන් කාලා දානවා. එහෙනම් මාළු මදුරු ගිහිල්ලා බිත්තර දාන්නේ නැහැ මාළු ඉන්න තැන. That is a natural way of control. That ecosystem is anyway supporting, right? Ecosystems, if we analyze the nature, it is really supporting us. But only thing is we are not believing in nature and we try to control everything chemically. That is the disasters, right? That is eco-friendly way of controlling mosquitoes. And also another thing, so people believe that they cannot fly long heights, right? They cannot fly long heights, and that is another thing that is used by some. So in tall buildings and all, so these mosquitoes, so they cannot lay eggs, and the water sources are basically kept in taller places. Taller towers like thing, they store water in such places. They think that mosquitoes cannot fly that much of. But nowadays mosquitoes adapted. Modern mosquitoes are more smarter than the old mosquitoes. වතුර අපි ගබඩා කරන උඩ තැනක ගබඩා කරාම එතකොට අපි දැන් ඉස්සර නම් හිතුවා දැන් උඩ තැන් වලට මේ මොස්කිටෝස් වලට යන්න බෑ කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ ඉපියාමන්න අමාරුයි ගොඩක් උඩට කියලා. එහෙනම් උස බිල්ඩින් වල උඩ වගේ ගබඩා කරන්න ගත්තා. හැබැයි දැන් ඉන්න මොඩර්න් මොස්කිටෝස්ලා පොඩ්ඩක් පණ්ඩිතයි. ඒගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් සමහර අය ඉන්න මෙහෙම ඒගොල්ලෝ ඇඩැප්ට් වෙනවා කාලෙත් එක්කම. Time to time they will adapt according to the environment, right? That is the thing. But normally they are not flying that high, right? Because that is one method of controlling. Another method is basically you can basically keep fish species which feed on mosquito larva. so that can be held into the water, then that is also a natural method of controlling. Okay, so then in each and every stage of this life cycle is a there are sensitive stages of this life cycle, so we should respect all the animals because all are belongs to Mother Nature, so we should respect them. Only thing is sometimes they are kind of damage in our lives, and they are basically harming or damage in our crops. That is true, but the thing is we have to consider that as a part of the nature. So we have to protect our crops as well as protect the nature too. So we should not completely destroy these species from the planet Earth. Otherwise, so people will do that, right? People will try to completely destroy the species from the earth, but that is never done. Even though the technology is there, සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම මදුරුව කියන කට්ටිය මුළු ලෝකෙම අයින් කරන්න ටෙක්නොලොජි තියෙනවා. හරිද? එහෙම කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වුණාට එහෙම කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඇයි එහෙම කරොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? ඒකෙන් එතන එයාලව ඕන තව ජීවීන් පිරිසකට ජීවත් වෙන්න. හරිද? එතකොට දැන් එතනින් ඒ කෑල්ල ගියා එයාලා අයින් වුණාම තව කට්ටියකට ඊළඟ ආහාර දාමේ ඊළඟ කොටසකට බලපෑමක් එන්න. Therefore, that imbalance, that we are not completely destroying the thing. We should not do that. We should not do that. That is something dangerous. Okay. Then you can see these valuable stage of some animals are given. So insects, this larva stage is the valuable stage of their life cycle. Fishes, their eggs. Turtles and frogs, we are preserving this, right? So in the turtle preservation centers, they are preserving their eggs and the young turtles. And the frogs, actually we are not preserving the frogs and fishes much, but the thing is turtles especially, they are protected because they are kind of endangered species. Have you heard of red data book? Red data book again.
What's that?
Red data book. Ratu datta pota.
No, sir.
Okay, go and see, search it, because this is really needed. So that is also related to the preservation of animals. There is a book called Red Data Book. Ratu datta pota. Red පහුගිය කාලේ කියවුණා පුතේ මේක Red Data Book එක අර ගහක් එහෙම කපන්න යනකොට අර highway එකට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන. Right, this is a Red Data Book. This is by IUCN. So please go and find it. So there are important details in this Red Data Book. This is about the plants and animals. So in the different stages, some are endangered, some are rare, some are basically depreciated, some are normal in the planet Earth. So that is about the endangered species, plants and animals both. Threatened species in the world. Right? You should know if you learn biology, if you want to learn about these animals and all. So it's better have idea about this Red Data Book. It is basically by the Russian Federation. So that is a really important book that we are studying when we are studying about the animals and these endangered and threatened species in the world. Okay, so just go and see. This is one important thing that you should learn.
Okay, sir.
Do not limit your knowledge to book. Just explore, right? Because you all are going to be scientists one day. That scientific knowledge and scientific discovery is needed. Okay, I saw that you have answered this. Have you answered all the questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll mark it and give it back to you. So
Okay.
I think we can start the next lesson as well. Actually, I'll do the introduction part. So because we have enough time. So that is about the number 13th, lesson number 13, that is food preservation. Okay, this is very important, timely lesson. Right? So, you know, all the animals, including us, we all are depending on food. So in Sri Lanka also, now you can see in the news, so people are starving and people are suffering from the energy issues because of lack of food and the poverty around the country. රටේ තියෙන දුගී භාවය, එතකොට ආහාර හිඟතාවය, ආහාරවල මිල ඉහළ යෑම, ඔය වගේ දේවල් හින්දා මොකද වෙන්නේ? පෝෂණය අඩු වෙනවා. මන්ද පෝෂණය කියලා කියන්නේ. මේ වගේ ගොඩක් ප්‍රශ්න එනවා. But do you know that 60%, closer to more than 50% of our crops are destroyed without a proper preservation methodology? That is the dangerous thing. That is something that we should avoid. 50%කට වැඩිය අපේ තියෙන මේ ආහාර තැන්පතු වලින් 50%කට වැඩිය හරි preservation technology එක. preservation කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? ආරක්ෂණ. අපි ආරක්ෂා කරගන්න විදි. හරි ආරක්ෂක විදියක් නැතුව නැති වෙලා යනවා. So can you tell me how it can be damaged? Okay, let's think about a vegetable. Okay, don't think about the preservation method. How a vegetable can be damaged? In which stage? It can be because of pests. So one stage is because of pests. So that is at the farmer's place. Then in the cultivation phase also. යාලගේ farmers like crops ටික කපන වෙලාවේ එක vegetable එක collect කරන වෙලාවේ damage වෙන්න පුළුවන්. And next is in the transportation. ඒවා transport කරන වෙලාවේ market එකට. In the market also it will be damaged. Then in the shops, finally the consumers will take that. At the consumers end also it can be damaged. අපි ඕවා අරන් එද්දි damage වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඊට පස්සේ අපි ගෙනාවට පස්සේ මොකද කරන්නේ? අපි නිකම්ම ওই ෆ්‍රිජ් එකේ දාලා තියෙනවා අපිට අමතක වෙලා යනවා. එහෙමත් damage වෙන්න පුළුවන්. තව අපි ඉව්වට පස්සේ අපි කන්නේ නැතුව අයින් කරලා දානවා. එහෙමත් damage වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Anyway, do you know that 50%, more than 50% of our food is wasted? More than 50% means, oh my God, that is a very big amount. That is not good, right? So a lot of countries, in a lot of countries, people follow these preservation methods because the food are not for the year. We have different, so almost every season, every month, we will see vegetables, fresh vegetables in the market. That is in Sri Lanka. But do you think that is there in UK? Do you think that is there in USA, Australia? Do you think? No, they have seasons. Right? They have seasons. This season, especially in Christmas time, what will happen? Can they cultivate?
Can't.
Why? Because yes. Because some areas are covered with ice. Not ice actually, covered with snow. Right? Yes. Completely. Then these leaves are falling. Right? Leaves are falling down and it's not a very good season. Everything's no sunlight is there. For long duration, cannot see the sunlight. The temperature is very low. Right? Therefore, they follow these preservation methods. They keep their food preserved and because of their busy life. So in Sri Lanka, we are cooking for all 3 meals. No, we are cooking all 3 meals. Today, දවල් රෑ 3ම උයනවා. හැබැයි දැන් ඒගොල්ලෝ එහෙම උයන්නේ නැහැ. ඒගොල්ලෝ සමහරට එක දවසක් කිව්වම දවස් 3ක් විතර ඔක කනවා. හරිද? හේතුව ඒගොල්ලෝ time එක ඒ ගොඩක් නාස්ති කරගන්නේ නැහැ. ඒගොල්ලෝ preservation methods තමයි පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. They are using this basically pasteurized milk. කිරි pasteurize කරලා තියාගන්න. අපිත් එහෙම තියාගන්න ඕනේ. කිරි නම් ඔන්න අපි තියාගන්න pasteurize කරලා. අර පැකට් වල තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට meat උත් අපි refrigerator වල දාලා තියාගන්න ඕනේ. But mostly the vegetables, fruits, we are not using that. They are drying them, dry fruits, dry vegetables, and then තව තියෙනවා මේ freeze කරන්න පුළුවන්. Freeze කරලා තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. air seal කරලා. Right? So those preservation methods. Have you tried to preserve food? Any practical experience? Do you have any practical experience of food preservation? කරලා තියෙනවද? ආහාර පරිරක්ෂණය කරලා තියෙනවද? තියාගෙන තියෙනවද කාලයක්? Have you tried? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, what? Can you give me an example? In Sri Lanka, there are a lot of common examples. We do for some food only for few, but we do.
වැලියට දාලා තියෙනවා.
මොනවාද වැලියට දාලා තියෙන්නේ? අපි ආගෙන ඉඳලා තියෙනවා එහෙම. හරි. මොනවද තියෙන්නේ වැලියට දාලා? ඒකේ මම හිතුවා එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් තියනවාද කියලා.
Yes sir.
No.
Yes.
Yes. මොනවද වැලියට දාලා තියෙන්නේ?
Jack seeds. කොසට.
වැලි වල තියන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට හේතුව මොකද්ද? The like you can see the like basically the humidity is low. නේද? humidity එක ටිකක් අඩු වෙනවා. රත් කර සීතල වැලි වල දාන්න බෑ. එකක් දාන්න වෙන්නේ අර හොඳට dry කරපු වැලි වලනේ. ඊළඟට මේව ලයිම් පිකර් ලුණු දෙහි හදලා තියෙනවා.
Yes sir.
That is also the food preservation method නේද? ලුණු සාන්ද්‍රණය වැඩි කරලා ලුණු වැඩිපුර දැම්මම මොකද වෙන්නේ? එතකොට ගොඩාක් ඔය මේ ෆන්ගස් වලට බැක්ටීරියා වලට ඒ එන්වයරන්මන්ට් එක එක්ස්ට්‍රීම්. එයාලට ඒ එන්වයරන්මන්ට් එකේ ගොඩක් හැදෙන්න බෑ. එතකොට එයාලා එන්වයරන්මන්ට් එකට එන්නේ නැති හින්දා අපිට ගොඩක් කල් ආහාර තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. But only thing is what will happen? අර කෑමට ලුණු රහක් වැඩිපුර එනවා නේද? එහෙම එකක් වෙනවා. ෆෘට්ස් ඔහම තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. ෆෘට්ස් දාන්නේ මොනවාගේද? ලුණු වලද සීනි වලද? ෆෘට්ස් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් දාන්නේ සීනි වල. Or you can use sugar solution to put fruits. Fruits දාගන්න පුළුවන්. Sugar solution එක vegetable නම් salt solution එක දාන්න පුළුවන්. හරිද? ගොඩක් කල් පුළුවන්. දැන් මම එහෙම දබල වගේ දේවල් තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ fresh color එකෙන්ම තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. මාස 4ක් 5ක් විතර පුළුවන්. Carrot fresh color එකෙන්ම තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. But what you have to do is you have to steam it first. ස්ටීම් කරන්න ඕන. මොකද ඒකේ තියෙන මේ අපි බොටල් එකකට දාලා ස්ටීම් කරන්නේ අර මේව බොටල් එක දාලා I'll show these stages and all, right? You can steam a bottle first because you have to basically remove the oxygen and air from that, and then you have to create a solution. That solution is basically you are using citric acid. Citric acid is used to keep the color. සිට්‍රික් අම්ලය අපි දාගන්නවා පාට තියාගන්න නැත්නම් පාට පොඩක් වෙනස් වෙනවා. ඒ පාට නැති වෙන සිට්‍රික් ඇසිඩ් පොඩ්ඩක් දාලා salt, you can use that salt solution or sugar solution. So if it is a fruit, better you use a sugar solution. If it is maybe a vegetable, you can use salt solution. And another thing is dry fish. Then dry fish අපි නම් අපි ගෙවල් වල කරන්නේ නැහැ. A dry fish ලංකාවේ තියෙනවා නේද? The dry fish is another thing. A food preservation method that is also using salt and drying. Salt and drying. එතකොට තව තියෙනවා dry කරන්න පුළුවන් මේවා. Mango and all. You can dry it like you can put the salt and make it dry. And you can keep it for a very long time. සියඹලා අඹ වගේ දේවල් ඇඹුල් දේවල් එහෙම ගොඩක් කල් තියාගන්න පුළුවන් dry කරලා වේලලා. Anything else? How can you keep okay, milk you can pasteurize, meat you can freeze, then so what about the vegetables like banana? Sorry, not vegetables, fruits like banana. So how can we keep for a long time? Any method?
By packing with polythene.
Yeah, you can air seal කළත් පුළුවන්. Air seal and freezing is one thing. Air seal කියලා කියන්නේ අර vacuum කරන්න පුළුවන් අපිට මෙන්න මේ වගේ vacuum bags තියෙනවා. Let me show that. Vacuum bag sealers තියෙනවා. හරි. So this sealer you can purchase. This is a small one you can purchase, and you can keep your fruit or whatever or vegetable like this. You can see this is a corn. Then keep the vegetable and then vacuum it. After vacuuming, what will happen? The complete air, so almost like 90%, more than 90% of the air will be removed. එතකොට හුලං නැත්තම් මොකක්ද ඊළඟට තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ? හුලං නැත්තම් ආයෙත් ඔය බැක්ටීරියාස් වලට ෆන්ගස් වලට ඒවට ඉන්න බෑ. ඉන්න බෑ කියන්නේ අල් ග්‍රෝ වෙන්න බෑනේ. දැන් ඔක්සිජන් යාලට හුස්ම ගන්න හුලං නැහැ. මෙහෙම කළා මේක සීල් කරනවා. සීල් කරලා ෆ්‍රිජ් එකේ දානවා. ඊට පස්සේ මේක ගොඩක් කල් තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. හරියට හැබැයි වැකුම් වෙන්න ඕන. හුලං පොඩ්ඩක් හරි තිබ්බොත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙනවා. හුලං උඩරින්ම පොඩ්ඩක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන් චූට්ටක් විතර. හැබැයි පුළුවන් උඩරින්ම හුලං මේකේ අදින්න ඕන. මේක මේ වගේ වැකුම් සීල් එකක් වඩ යූස් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකත් හරි. This can be done for seeds. Vacuum sealer can be used for seeds, right? And also for vegetables can be used. Basically, have you seen this banana can be like here banana snacks. Banana වලින් වගේ snack හදනවා. Here. This is to keep banana for a long time. So you can dry it and make snacks. Not a famous thing in Sri Lanka, but I have seen in many countries this banana snacks like this. It's famous. They will dry it and make a snack. Even mango snacks, banana snacks, pineapple snacks, all these are there. This is mango snacks. Right? They will dry it and keep it for a long period of time. Banana snacks, mango snacks. Then actually I have seen the pumpkin they create a powder. Pumpkin දන්නවනේ වට්ටක්ක. එකෙන් powder එකක් හදනවා. So this is really in Sri Lanka also pumpkin powder is there, but mostly you can use this for cake and a lot of foods. Pumpkin powder is very famous thing, right? Because there's a big wastage නේද? මේ වට්ටක්ක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට කෑල්ලක් ගෙනාම ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඉතුරු කෑල්ල කුණු වෙලා එක්ක විසි කරනවා කඩවල් වල එක්ක විසි කරනවා. ඉතින් ඒකෙන් හදන්න පුළුවන් මේ powder එක. මම හදලා තියෙනවා මේක. Pumpkin powder. This you can use for soup and different other products. So this is a practical lesson. That is why I said the food preservation is a practical lesson. So what about bread? How you can keep bread for a long time? Bread. Yes, how you can keep bread for a long time? What is the preservation method? Yes. Bread.
පැක්
කරලත් අමාරුයිනේ. ගොඩාක් කල් දාන්නේ නේද? මාසයක් බෑනේ. Maybe 1 week you can keep 1 week, right? Not more than that. Then it will become right. It will become rotten. ටිකක් කල් තියෙනකොට පාන් එක කන්න බෑ නිකන් dry වෙලා යනවා. Is there any other way to keep bread for a long time?
Don't know.
So what about drying? Haven't you seen this roast pang and other versions? You can keep it for a long time. Dehydration, right? Dehydration means removing water. If you can remove water and make it dry, then you can keep it for a long time. Even for a month you can keep. But that is not a bread anymore. That will be dry, kind of a different version. But still you can keep it for a long time. Okay, we have discussed about the food preservation, and we have discussed why we need food preservation, right? Why we need food preservation? Because we are wasting a lot of food in different stages, in the crop stage, harvesting stage, in transport stage, in the consuming stage. We are actually wasting that. Therefore, it is really essential to protect this, especially a country like us, because we are suffering from a lot of like lack of energy and a lot of issues these days due to this and food starvation, a lot of things. And therefore, this is really required, a timely topic. And it is also, rather than just wasting and throwing it away, it's really good to protect. We are using a lot of methods, but the thing is, still we have to follow some other methods. We have learned about that. And I'll be discussing about this preservation method, traditional methods and all. Here, this one. I see salt in mango and keep it dry. I said about that. Smoking fish, and this is another thing that is done in villages, basically smoking, not just the fish. Smoking can be done for flesh as well. right? You can keep it for a long time after doing that. Even these Vedda people are doing that. ඒගොල්ලොත් දුම් මැස්සි දාලා කරන්නේ වැද්දෝ. මස් අරගෙන ඒගොල්ලෝ වේලනවා දුමේ. දුම ගහලා වේලනවා. දුමින් වේලන එකෙන් තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ ප්‍රොටෙක්ට් කරගන්නේ. Okay, dehydration, right, and all. We will learn about these methods in the next day. So I'll stop from here for today. The next day we'll discuss about the remaining tasks. Then good night.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Bye.